Listen to her, baby.
Listen to her.
Hey guys, beautiful day today here in March, 56 degrees, the absolute perfect temperature to ride in, at least for me. I love it. Sunny, what else can you ask for here in Ohio? It's beautiful, so it's going to be a sweet riding day today. Today I just wanted to cover some mistakes that newbies tend to make. But first off, I want to tell you, before you ride your bike, I think most of you motorcycle riders probably know this, but for those of you that are interested in getting into motorcycling, when you get a motorcycle, before you ride, you want to make sure you inspect your bike. This is very important for a matter of safety. First off, you want to check the air pressure in the tires, front and rear. And if you look on the swing bar here, it usually gives the numbers that you need for the front, up to 36 on this bike, up to 36 psi, and the rear is 42, which I did check the air pressure, and I put the numbers where they need to be. Next thing you want to do, you want to make sure that your oil level is good, which on this bike, it has a window here. I don't know if you can see it here in the, but the oil level is fine. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure the turn signals are working good. Okay. We have the right turn signal on. That's working good. Let's check the rear here. Okay, that's working good. Okay, let's do the left turn signal. That's working good. Let's check the back, rear. Working good. Okay. Of course, you want to check your fluid level, your brake fluid level here. That's good. Check your rear. Fluid's good. You always want to check the floor for any oil leaks. Make sure you don't have any oil leaks, which I never had any on any bike that I've had, but you definitely want to check for that. Okay, and then you want to go ahead and warm your bike up. Go ahead and start the bike. And my bike has already been warmed up, but you usually want to allow it to warm up for at least a good, I don't know, say 3 to 5 minutes, and make sure that it's at its perfect idling speed, which mine is what, like 1.5 grand. So I'm good at 1.5 grand. Check your gas gauge. I'm good. Like I said, the only Super Sport 600 Super Sport, or any current Super Sport that has a gas gauge besides the new 2013 Daytona 675R. I'm telling you, the gas gauge is awesome on this bike. I love it. I wouldn't want to have to deal with a low light fuel indicator, because I've seen a couple of you guys out there get stranded waiting for that fuel light to come on. Now I know you can use a trip timer on your bike, but sometimes you forget to reset that trip timer. And then when you're waiting for that low light indicator, and if it doesn't come on and malfunctions, you're screwed. Not on this bike. Even if the fuel indicator malfunction on this bike, which I've never heard anybody having any problems, but you would know ahead of time, because you would be able to, you know pretty much how many miles you're getting per bar on your fuel gauge. So that's what I love about this bike. I love everything about this bike, man. But you know, you've heard enough of that in all of my other videos. But yeah, the first mistake I made out of the box when I got my CBR 250R is that I used to ride, like when I first started off, you know, I rode with my heels on the pegs. Bad mistake. You don't want to do that. Soon as you make your shift, you want to put your feet up As soon as you make the shift and you're good, go ahead and put it up on the balls of your feet there. And then when you want to shift again, of course, you get back in the shifting position. And then when you're done shifting, back on the balls of your feet. And the reason I tell you this, man, is because, and I've seen other people do it. I've seen some of the videos out there, some of you guys riding, some of you newbies out there that ride with your heels on the pegs, is what happens is sometimes you ride this rear brake. And that's what I did on the CBR 250R, man. And it's funny though, because it's not that funny because it, you know, but anyways, I was riding the rear brake, and my rear tire, the brake was smoking. The rear brake was smoking. And I was like, what the hell's going on? You know, I had a brand new CBR 250R, and it's smoke coming out of the back, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? Then I realized I was riding the damn rear brake like an idiot. So I cut that shit out. And yeah, definitely make sure you're putting your feet, putting the balls of your feet on the pegs, not your heel, you know. So yeah, that's definitely something you want to pay attention to for you newbies out there. And I'll cover some more mistakes on the road that newbies tend to make and that I made in the past. And hopefully you guys, you newbies out there, won't make the same mistake. So alright, without further ado, let's get out of here. Hey guys, out here on the road, like I said, I wanted to cover some mistakes that new riders tend to make. First off, you don't want to ride in the center of the road, because these are rare oil spots usually accumulate. If a car is leaking oil, it's generally going to be in the center of the lane. So you want to ride just off to the right center of the lane. So this slot that I'm on right now, this is where you want to ride. You don't want to ride too far over to the right side of the road, because that generally tends to be the dirtiest part of the road, where there's going to be probably more gravel and leaves or whatnot. And you definitely don't want to be riding too close to the double yellow line, because a lot of times cars will drift over the line and that could clip you and cause problems for you. So this is the slot you want. This is the line you want, just off center to the right. Also, when you're making a turn, when you're going through a turn on your bike, make sure that you have a smooth throttle. Do not do an abrupt throttle when you're going through the turn, because what will happen, and what has happened to me when I first started riding the super sport bike, on a CBR 250R, you probably can get away with it, because the throttle response is, I mean, those bikes aren't really all that powerful, as compared to the super sport. These throttles, the throttle is sensitive on these bikes. And if you crank the throttle just a little too hard in the turn, man, your rear wheel can fishtail. Now, if your bike has traction control, you'll probably be all right. Like on, I believe, the new 2013 ZX6R 636, that has traction control. You put that on, you hit the turn, you crank the throttle a little bit too much in the turn, it'll probably help you out. Probably won't have too much to worry about. But bikes like mine that don't have the traction control, you have to be careful. And if the road looks sketchy, if you see some gravel or you see some potholes or anything, coast through the turn as opposed to giving the bike any gas at all. Hey guys, we're on the highway here. What you want to do when you're on the highway, you want to make sure you're in the far right lane, because you always have a bailout area over here. You're over there, you're on your own, baby. If something happens, you got no bailout area. Now, of course, you have to get in those lanes when you want to make some passes, but you generally want to try to stick in the far right lane, like I said, because if anything goes down, baby, you got this area over here you can bail out to. Otherwise, and if you want to make a pass, put your bike in a lower gear. That's going to give you more power to power out. Hey guys, another mistake that you don't want to make is make sure you don't ride parallel with cars. Always make sure the car's in front of you or back of you, never next to you. Because a lot of times, man, they can just merge over and not even realize you're in the lane. So that's something you want to watch out for as well. I'm headed over here. I gotta take a piss bad. I'm gonna head over here to this abandoned parking lot here. All right. Also, I gotta change my windscreen. It's gonna start to get dark pretty soon, and I'll be heading back home. So hey guys, that's all I really want to cover. This is my old neighborhood, man. This is where used to be a major store here, Gold Circle and Rainey's, many years ago, back in the 80s. But like they say, all good things come to an end, baby. Sad to see. But hey, that's all, baby. So until next time,
catch you guys later.